guys, Best and West here with part 2 of my Bay Area Regionals tournament video. If you enjoy my content, make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video. Before we get into the battle footage, as a quick refresher, I'd like to go over my team again. If you would like to skip this, feel free to click one of the timestamps I provided down below. For my team, I have a Venusaur that is running Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant, and Sludge Bomb. Bastiodon is running Smackdown, Stone Edge, and Flamethrower. Skarmory is running Air Slash, Sky Attack, and Flash Cannon. My Sableye is running Shadow Claw, Power Gem, and Foul Play. Medicham is running Power Up Punch, Counter, and Ice Punch. And my Azumarill is running Bubble, Play Rough, and Ice Beam. At this point in the tournament, I am currently 1-1, about to go face my third opponent. So let's get into the battles. All right, I'm here with Lunarel for the third round. Yeah, let's take a look at his team and see how we do. Good luck, man. Good luck. All right, so for this first battle against Lunarel, I look at his team and I immediately think Bastiodon. Bastiodon has a neutral to favorable matchup against 5 of his 6 Pokemon. The only Pokemon that does not have a favorable matchup for Bastiodon is Medicham. So I decide to bring my own Medicham and Skarmory, because Skarmory will counter Tropius. It'll go neutral with Azumarill. It'll be positive against Altaria. It'll kind of go neutral with Medicham as well. And I brought my own Medicham because it counters Melmetal, Bastiodon, Altaria, and go neutral with his Medicham. And with Ice Punch, I can do a lot of damage to Tropius and Altaria. So with that being said, let's see how I do. Alright, so I'm leading off with Bastiodon. He leads off with Altaria. A great first matchup for me. Bastiodon will completely own Altaria. I don't even have to shield or do anything against it. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Stone Edge. He decides to block that, which I think is not the correct move. I think he should have switched immediately when he saw that. So he sends out Azumarill, and I'm still assuming that he's running Ice Beam until otherwise noted, and I get Stone Edge off. So I keep Bastiodon in. This is still a favorable matchup, and he uses Ice Beam, so I let that go. I'm going to try to get another Stone Edge off, and he gets another charge move off on me, and I let this go. And luckily, I get this Stone Edge off, and he decides to block that. So at this point, he has no shields. I have 2 shields. I'm going to go ahead and send out Skarmory, and I have 2 shields, so I'm not worried about that Ice Beam. I'm going to shield this up and go ahead and finish off his Azumarill. He's going to send out Melmetal. So Skarmory is not a good matchup against Melmetal, so I go ahead and get that Sky Attack off and send in my Medicham. And this is a super favorable matchup for me, and I'm going to let that Rock Slide go. He switches into Altaria, and I go ahead and use that Ice Punch right away. He sends out Melmetal. He gets a charge move, but I have another shield, and it was Rock Slide anyways, so GG. Alright, so getting into this next battle, I decided to just run the same team. I had great success with it, so I didn't really see a reason for me to change it. My line of thinking was pretty correct, so yeah, we're just running it back, see how I do. Alright, getting right into this battle, I lead off with Bastiodon. He leads off with Tropius, so this is a positive matchup for me. So as long as I just stay in. So he gets a Leaf Blade off. Yep, neutral damage, but I get this Flamethrower off at pretty much the same time. He had Charge Move priority, I think. So I'm dealing super effective damage, he's dealing neutral damage, but Razor Leaf does a ton of damage. So he switched into Medicham, and I switched into Skarmory. So he's gonna get Power Up Punch off, no, an Ice Punch. An Ice Punch off, and it does neutral damage to me. I'm gonna get this Sky Attack off. If he does not shield, it's gonna deal super effective, but he does shield. He gets a charge move off right after my Sky Attack, Power Up Punch. So now his Medicham's powered up. I should be able to get to this Sky Attack, and I do barely. So that'll deal super effective damage, knock him out. He sends in Metal and knock out my Skarmory. Now I'm just waiting a little bit and send in my Medicham. So this is a positive matchup to me. He gets a charge move off. I decide not to shield it, expecting it to be Rock Slide. He's gonna switch Pokemon right away and get this charge move off. Now I'm gonna shield this Leaf Blade, and I'm gonna knock it down with counters. He's gonna send in Metal. I have a Power Punch charged up, and I go ahead and hit it for super effective damage, and down goes Metal. GG.
All right, so we're back from break, and we're going into round 4. I'm here with Alienton X.
Hey.
From Monterey area. Thanks for making the trip up. But yeah, let's see how I do.
Getting into this first battle with Alienton X, I look at his team and I see a lot of Pokemon that Bastiodon will counter. So he has 5 Pokemon that Bastiodon will counter. So yeah, I lead off with Bastiodon. If he brings out Medicham, then I'm probably gonna have a problem. But so lead off with Bastiodon, and I bring Skarmory. Skarmory should counter Beedrill, Tropius. It'll go neutral with both Skarmory and Medicham. So that's a pretty good Pokemon to bring as well. And it'll also go neutral with the Azumarill. So Bastiodon, Skarmory, and my last like flex Pokemon, I guess, is I'm bringing in Sableye, because Sableye will just do a good amount of damage to every Pokemon out there, and also to kind of cover Medicham. So yeah, that's the team I'm going with. Alright, getting into this first battle, I'm leading off with Bastiodon against Skarmory, a great matchup. I can pretty much just farm up Skarmory, and he ends up switching. Now I have switch advantage, but it's a Azumarill. I don't need to switch here. So I go ahead and get this Stone Edge off. He goes ahead and blocks it. Now I believe this is going to be Ice Beam, because that was a very fast charge. Go ahead and not block that, not very effective damage. I'm gonna get this second Stone Edge off. He's gonna tank it this time. He's gonna get another charge move off. I'm not gonna block it. Ice Beam, again, not very effective. And this is gonna take a while. Bastiodon's a tank, can take a lot of damage. I'm not gonna block this. It's gonna knock me out, but I have another Pokemon. I have 2 Pokemon ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and send out Skarmory. I'm gonna Air Slash this down, charge up some energy, getting ready for that next Pokemon. That next Pokemon is a Skarmory of his own. I'm gonna go ahead and tank this as well. Get off the Sky Attack. He's gonna take it. So right now, I believe I'm up by shields. So he's gonna get another Sky Attack off. I'm not gonna block it. I'm gonna get my own Sky Attack off. He's not gonna block. He's gonna block it. So now I'm up 2 shields to none. I believe I blocked this one. Yes. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this Sky Attack off. And he eats it. And I'm gonna switch to Sableye to knock it out his Skarmory. And it's a Beedrill. So this is a perfect matchup for me. He has no shields. Go ahead and get this Power Gem off, dealing super effective damage, and that's GG. Right, so for the second battle, I decided to go with the same lineup. That worked out pretty well, kind of pretty much what I expected it to. So let's just stick with it. On to the second battle. Getting into this second battle, again, I'm going to lead off with Bastiodon. He leads off with Medicham, so I need to get out of there as soon as possible. I'm going to bring in Skarmory, And I think this was okay. He's going to switch into Melmetal. This is a bad matchup for me. So there's nothing I can do though. I'm locked in. Go ahead and get that Sky Attack off. He's going to get a charge move off. I'm going to go ahead and shield this. It's Thunderbolt. I'm going to get this Sky Attack off. And he's going to take it. He's probably going to get another charge move off right here. Thunderbolt knocks out my Skarmory. Now I'm thinking, what Pokemon should I bring out? I'm also waiting out the clock. I bring in my Bastiodon, hoping he doesn't get another charge move. He does get a charge move off. Rock Slide, okay, not very effective damage, not bad. He's gonna send out his Medicham again. He has Power Up Punch. I'm gonna have to switch into my Sableye. It's good. It's dealing pretty good damage. I'm not gonna shield this. Ice Punch deals a decent amount of damage to me. He makes a great switch right here and tanks that foul play with his Azumarill. And I'm trying to get this Power Gem off, but he gets a charge move again. At this point, I'm not going to even try to shield that. Send out my Bastiodon. I pretty much lost this once he made that great switch. Once he made that great switch, it was pretty much over. So he's gonna I'm gonna take out his Azumarill, but he has a Medicham and a shield. So if he didn't have that shield, maybe I could came back, but he had that shield. GG. Oh man, after that last battle, I got kind of scared, got kind of worried, and I decided to not lead with Bastiodon. Instead, I decided to lead with Skarmory, bring in Bastiodon and Medicham on my team. Bastiodon can deal with those 5 that I mentioned. Skarmory can deal with a lot of them, and Medicham, I just found that it's very strong, and as long as I can get it on either his Medicham, Tropius, Melmetal, or even Skarmory, I should be okay, but you'll see what happens. Alright, getting into the battle. Like I mentioned, I lead off with Skarmory. He leads off with Melmetal. This is a terrible matchup for me. So I'm going to get a couple of Air Slashes off, and I'm going to switch into Bastiodon. Why did I switch into Bastiodon? I'm not 100% sure. He switches into his Medicham, and at this point, I'm trying to just let my Bastiodon go. That's because I don't want his Medicham to get too powered up. So I just let that go, pretty much just gave that match to him, gave that matchup to him. Send in my Skarmory. He's gonna get a Power Up Punch off, and I'm not gonna block that. I'm gonna get the Sky Attack off. He's going to shield that. I switch into my own Medicham. I'm not sure if that was the smart choice, but I did anyways. He gets an Ice Punch, I go ahead and shield that. He switches into a Azumarill, I get Power Up Punch off. He has no more shields, I go ahead and get the second Power Up Punch off. And he's going to go ahead and use Play Rough. I block that because that would have killed me. I get an Ice Punch off. Again, this is a terrible matchup for me, but try and do the best I can because right now I'm switch locked, but that Play Rough knocked me out. I only have Skarmory left, and I'm trying to get this Sky Attack, but I can't. He goes ahead and gets this Ice Beam off. I'm pretty much dead, and he still has his own Skarmory, and he has a Medicham, and a Melmetal. Gosh, he had everything. Thunderbolt, GG. So I want to kind of look back at that last battle because I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong, and I think I know what I could have done differently. So I'm in an unfavorable matchup right now, and instead of switching, I should have just let Skarmory faint. Instead of letting this Medicham just go to town on me. Letting that Pokemon faint might have been okay. I could have possibly gotten a shield or something, or do a lot of damage to Melmetal. Although Melmetal will have had fainted my Skarmory, at least I could bring out my own Medicham to go against his Melmetal. And then he'd probably bring out a Azumarill, and at least I could do some more damage to his Azumarill than what had happened, because I ended up being stuck in that matchup anyways, and right here, my Medicham goes in, he's gonna get this power-up punch off, this ice punch off, and switch to his Azumarill anyways. So nothing would have been different. At least I would have been able to, I don't know, like maybe things could have been different. It's too hard to tell right now, but I think that would have been the more, like, I think that would have been the better route, because my Bastiodon was very important. It countered so many of his Pokemon, and I think that's what I would try to fix if I could change it. What do you guys think I should have done differently? Leave it in the comments down below. Let me know what you think I did wrong, and if there was any way for me to have fixed that matchup. Yeah, learn from my mistakes.
Okay, so I'm here with Maroon 6, good friend. He's on my friends list. We're working towards Ultra Friends. We're gonna get our friendship level up right here, actually. Yeah. But he's 3-1. I'm 2-2. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, so going up against my good friend Maroon 6 here. If you haven't checked it out, I did an interview with him after the tournament, and he kind of goes and explains why he picked this team that he did. A very unique team, I would say, at least in the tournament that I was in. But anyways, looking at his team, I see that he has 2 Mud Boys and a Azumarill. So I already know that I'm going to be bringing my Venusaur in. Now, I also bring in my Skarmory. If there was anything that I learned from the Tempest Cup, I think it was the Tempest Cup, is that Skarmory does really well against the Mud Boys. So I go ahead and bring in Skarmory, and plus it has neutral matchups across the board. Skarmory, Azumarill, Medicham, those ones are neutral against Skarmory. So Skarmory's in, and for my last Pokemon, I decided to bring in Medicham, and so that's because the only Pokemon that I did not take into account was Melmetal. Neither Venusaur nor Skarmory really perform well against Melmetal, so I wanted to be able to at least cover that Pokemon, and that coverage is coming from Medicham. Plus, Medicham can do well against Skarmory, Whiscash, Quagsire, and in the mirror. So let's see how it goes. Alright, so getting into the battle, I lead off with Skarmory, he leads off with Quagsire. This is a pretty good matchup for me, just because he does not deal super effective damage to me at all, but Stone Edge will still hurt, and he charges up that Stone Edge so fast. So he goes ahead and gets that Stone Edge off. I'm going to block it. Sky Attack, he blocks that. Back and forth. He's going to get another charge move off. I'm not sure what it is. I was thinking it was Acid Spray, but it's not. Stone Edge. I eat it. Neutral damage. It's also not stab bonus, so that's okay. I go ahead and switch into Venusaur. He gets a charge move off right here, and it's Acid Spray. So at this point, my Venusaur is weakened, which is possibly even a good thing, because that means his Skarmory can't farm that much on me. So I get another Frenzy Plant off, and his Skarmory's at about half health now. He also has no shields, because he burned both of them on Quagsire. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my own Skarmory in, just because I wanted to soak these Sky Attacks if I can. So that's one Sky Attack, and I didn't get my Sky Attack off. So I bring in my Medicham. He's going to have another Sky Attack, and I have to block this. Super effective damage. Yeah, I didn't want to eat it. So he sends out Quagsire. I have a power-up punch charged up, and this is going to knock out his Quagsire. He still has Skarmory, but with very little health left. So he sends out Melmetal. I have a power-up punch charged up. Super effective damage. He has no more shields. He's going to get a charge move off. I'm worried that it's going to be a Thunderbolt, but nope, Rock Slide. Perfect. not very effective damage, and Skarmory goes down. GG. Alright, so for this second battle, I decided to switch some things up. I decided to go ahead and lead off with Medicham because if I don't run into a Azumarill, I can power up my Medicham pretty fast. So I go ahead and lead off with Medicham, and then I am going to bring Venusaur, and I believe I bring Skarmory as well. Yep, I bring Skarmory. So those are the 3 Pokemon I'm going with, and I lead off with Medicham. And watching this footage back again, I do see a mistake that I made, but I didn't know it was a mistake at that time. So see if you can spot it. I'll reveal what I think I should have done differently at the end of this battle. Alright, getting right into this battle, I lead off with Medicham. He leads off with Melmetal. Perfect lead matchup. So he's going to go ahead and switch into his own Medicham. I end up using Power Up Punch. Maybe I could have saved it. I don't know. So I switch into Skarmory. He's going to get a charge move off, and it's Ice Punch. I go ahead and try to get this Sky Attack off, but I can't get it. So he gets a Power Up Punch, and I don't shield that. I get this Sky Attack off. He decides to shield that one. So he's going to get another charge move off, and I block this one though, Power Up Punch. And I just go ahead and Sky Attack him down. He's gonna go ahead and bring out Melmetal Skarmory, and so he's gonna knock me out right here. And now I have 2 bad options, I guess. I have Medicham and Venusaur. So I go ahead and send out Medicham. I go ahead and block this Sky Attack, because if I don't, I'm dead. I go ahead and get this Power Up Punch off. He goes ahead and blocks that. He gets another Sky Attack off, and this knocks me out. Now all I have is Venusaur. Try and get this Frenzy Plant. I get this Frenzy Plant. Knock out his Skarmory, but he has Melmetal, and this is a very bad matchup for me. And I have less than half health. Rock Slide knocks me out. Oh, no, not yet. I get one more Frenzy Plant off, but not very effective damage. GG. Did you guys see what I should have done differently? I don't think it was using that Power Up Punch. I think it was me switching in Skarmory into his Medicham. Instead, I possibly could have switched in Venusaur against his Medicham, and that probably would have been a better matchup. He would have been switch locked, and Medicham will fall to Venusaur. He did not bring any one of his Pokemon that was weak to Venusaur, so I didn't know that, but at the same time, like, that probably would have switched the outcome of this battle, because Venusaur got stuck at the end against a Melmetal and a Skarmory. Now, obviously, I didn't know he had a Melmetal in the back. No, I did know he had a Melmetal in the back. I didn't know he had a Skarmory. So, lessons learned. If you have a favorable matchup, make sure you go ahead and switch into it if they already used their switch. Alright, getting into this last battle against Maroon 6, I was kind of tilted. I'm not gonna lie, I was so confused as to what had happened. I felt like I should have won that. I won the lead, but at the same time, I lost that battle by so much, it felt like. So now I'm already trying to think of some kind of weird lineup to use against his Pokemon. And this was probably one of my largest mistakes of the tournament. What I end up doing is I bring Sableye, Medicham, and I think Skarmory. So I leave Venusaur off completely, and I don't really have a tank. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. This is a bad battle for me, and you'll see exactly what happens when you don't think logically and you kind of just go with a weird lineup. Picking your lineup is definitely one of the most important things that you can do. It can be won and lost just based on your lineup, but you'll see what happens. Getting into the battle, I go ahead and lead off with Sableye. He leads off with Azumarill. This is a terrible matchup for me. I get a few Shadow Claws in. This is not dealing very much damage at all. I go ahead and switch into Skarmory. He has Ice Beams. Nope, but he saves it and switches into his own Skarmory. I go ahead and get this Sky Attack off. He goes ahead and blocks that. I get another Sky Attack off. And he goes ahead and lets that go. Now, he has enough energy stored up to get 2 Sky Attacks off, so I should be ready for that. And there's the second Sky Attack. I go ahead and let this one go. I go ahead and get my own Sky Attack off. And back and forth, he goes ahead and gets another Sky Attack off. And that knocks out my Skarmory. Now, I believe I bring in my Sableye. Not sure if that was the right move. I have some energy stored up. He has one more shield. Sends out Azumarill. His Azumarill has energy saved up. Ice Beam. I probably could have eaten that, but I was afraid that it was going to be a play rough. He goes ahead and takes that. He goes ahead and takes that Power Gem and knocks me out with a play rough. Now all I have left is a shieldless Medicham. He goes ahead and sends out his Medicham with a shield, and this is all but over, right? Like, sending out that Sableye was not a good choice. There was only one positive matchup on his team, and that was Medicham. I have no clue what I was thinking. Yeah, I was just trying something different. It was just bad news, right? So make sure you think logically. Make sure you think about your lineup. What are you trying to do with each one of your Pokemon? GG's Maroon 6. You got me.
Alright, so I'm here with Innerwoo. I'm here for the last round of the tournament. I am doing extremely not good, but at the same time, everyone here is very good, so like I'm not super surprised, but at the same time, I'm a little disappointed. But yeah, let's see how we do this last round. Hopefully I can do a little bit better. So I'm not gonna wish you good luck.
Alright, so this battle against Innerwoo, I see that most of his team is going to be weak against Bastiodon. Azumarill, Tropius, Altaria, and Melmetal all lose in even matchups, even shield matchups, and Bastiodon is a mirror match, so that's a neutral matchup. And so I also bring in Skarmory because it is very positive against Tropius and Altaria, and it can do really well. It's a neutral matchup against Medicham and Azumarill. So 4 out of his 6 Pokemon are going to be either neutral or positive matchups. Negative matchups against my Skarmory. And for my last Pokemon, I decided to bring in Medicham for the Bastiodon and Melmetal coverage and the neutral matchup against his Medicham, and a somewhat counter in terms of Ice Punch against his Tropius and Altaria. So let's see how I do. Alright, we're going to jump right into the battle. I lead off with Bastiodon against his Azumarill. This is a positive matchup for me, so I'm going to go ahead and start getting to work against his Azumarill. He's going to switch out into his Medicham. I go ahead and get this Flamethrower off just so that, just so I can burn a shield. I go ahead and send out my Skarmory. He's going to go ahead and use a Power-Up Punch. I don't block that. This is a neutral matchup, but he already got a Power-Up Punch off on me. I go ahead and not block this second Power-Up Punch. So at this point, his Power-Up Punches are dealing a decent amount of damage against my Skarmory. I get that Sky Attack off. He's going to get another Power-Up Punch off, and I'm not going to block this because my Skarmory is pretty much dead already. I go ahead and send out my own Medicham and get a Power-Up Punch off. He has no more shields. I decide to block this Ice Punch, and I'm going to counter him down. I have half my health left. He has a Azumarill though, and I don't really have anything. I go ahead and send out my Bastiodon, but he's going to get a charge move off, Ice Beam. I'm going to be able to get this Stone Edge off and get close to knocking him out, but any kind of charge move, he's just going to bubble me down, and he's going to build up that energy. I have a Power Up Punch off, and I go ahead and hit that, but he has a charge move, and this should knock me out. GG. Looking back on that battle, I think I had a very slow switch on my Bastiodon. I should have switched out Bastiodon for my Medicham or Skarmory much faster than what had actually happened. So I think that was my mistake. I made a pretty big mistake, I think. That allowed Medicham to charge up his Power-Up Punch and get off that Power-Up Punch against my Skarmory and also give him energy advantage. That was a pretty crucial mistake, but we'll see if I can turn it around this next battle. So in this second battle, what I do is I switch it up a little bit. Instead of Skarmory, I bring in my own Azumarill, and that's pretty much to deal with his Azumarill, Medicham, and the 2 flying type Pokemon. I think that bringing my Azumarill will change some things up. I don't really know what I was thinking at this point, but let's see how it goes. Getting right into this battle against Innerwu, I lead off with Bastiodon, he leads off with Medicham. The worst possible outcome, I go ahead and quick switch into my own Medicham. He charges up some energy and switches into Azumarill, which is a positive matchup for him. Now, I wish I did one of two things. Either used more shields on Medicham, or I wish I used more shields on Medicham. I think I could have pulled this off a little bit better. So I go ahead and let that ice beam go through. I go ahead and get this Ice Punch off and deal not very effective damage. He's going to get another charge move off, and this is going to knock out my Medicham. Now I have 2 shields, he has 2 shields, but he knocked out my Medicham already. I go ahead and send out Bastiodon, which is a positive matchup, but he goes ahead and sends Medicham back out with a charged up Power-Up Punch. I did not shield that, and I send out my Azumarill. Now he's going to go ahead, he's already charged up once, that's the second time. So he's 2 stages up, and he's going to get another one off. And I am not going to block this. I go ahead and try to get this play rough. At this point, I forgot he had 2 shields, so there's no reason, and he's charged up. There's no reason that he would not block that. Goes ahead and gets another Power-Up Punch off, and I should have tried to knock out this Medicham for sure, instead of letting him just knock me out this fast, because the only Pokemon I have left is Bastiodon, and Bastiodon is going to like melt against a powered up Medicham. So send out my Bastiodon. His Medicham is doing work against my Bastiodon. I'm going to knock it out with this flamethrower, but it's too little too late. He's going to send out his Azumarill and finish me off right here because I have no more shields. Not a GG, but he played very well, Innerwu. I played like crap. Congratulations. Alright, so that was my regionals tournament. There were 62 total participants, and the one that came out on top undefeated was trainer AJG. Congratulations to him. And yeah, overall, my impressions of the tournament, it was a really good turnout, and I think it was a great event in general. Bringing back all the Pokemon that were used in the previous tournaments was a great idea. I wish I had prepared a little bit more for it. Having 2 cups in 1 month is a little stressful, but apparently it's not too stressful for some other people. Maybe I'm just making some excuses, but I'd like to thank PokéGatrs, the Silph Arena, everyone involved with Pokemon Go PvP organization. Thank you, because it has changed the landscape of the Pokemon Go community. I've met some awesome people at this event, and I look forward to participating in future regionals and these type of events. That's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Best and West. I'll catch you guys later.